Welcome to the stream. Back at it yet again. 11:06 in the morning. I got the what? Self-update failed. What's that even mean? I don't know. I was downloading the Epic installer so we could do the Power World mods tonight. Anyway, whatever. So we're back at it. Step 27 right here. Pardon me. So now we can start using our spreadsheet functions. We'll begin by declaring an update arrow function. And it should take an event parameter. Let's do it. So we say const. Check, mic check. Okay, cool. Update. And it's going to be having an event parameter with an arrow thusly like that. And this is for the spreadsheet functions. Okay, so let's check the code. Looks good. And submit it. All right, now we're on to step 28. So in our window.onload function, this thing right here, we're going to need to tell our input elements to call the update function when the value changes. We can do this by directly setting the onChange property. We'll set the onChange property to the reference, to be a reference to our update function. Okay. So we'll do that. OnChange. Let's go look up OnChange while we're at it. Where are we? Oh, I must have opened it again. OnChange. Let's do that. OnChange. Browser settings OnChange. Document OnChange. Selection change. No. Hold on. OnChange property. Let's look for OnChange property. I don't see it. Let's just search for it. I don't see it. All right. Let's keep going then. So we can do this directly by setting the onChange property. We'll set the onChange property to be a oh, we haven't even made it, I guess. No, okay. So input.onChange input. Let's try that. Input.onChange equals update. Did we make an update function? Oh, we're making the update function. Is that what you want? Window.onload. What? Should not call the update function. It's a reference to the update function? Okay. Okay, so that's how we do it. But let's try to understand what's going on. So in our window.onload function, we need to tell our input elements to call the update function when the value changes. We can do this by directly setting the onChange property. So we set the onChange property to be a reference to our update function. Okay. Let's go to Google and try to Google it. OnChange property HTML. There we go. No. There we go, right here. Okay. So the onChange event occurs when the value of an HTML element is changed. Here's a tip. This event is similar to the onInput event that we haven't learned either. The difference is that the onInput event occurs immediately after the value of an element is changed, while onChange occurs when the element loses focus after the content has been changed. The other difference is that the onChange event also works on select elements. Okay. Let's try it ourselves. Let's see what this is. All right. Assign an onChange event to an input. Oh, we can't get this out of here. Yeah, we can. To an input element. All right. we're going to enter our name, input type equals text. We've got the IDF name, and on change, we're going to do this function, my function call. And then here's the my function right here. So here's the paragraph. When we leave the input field, the function is triggered, which transforms the input text to uppercase. Okay. So we've got function, my function. We've got var x equals document.get element by ID f name. So it's accessing this input right here. And then x.value equals x.value to uppercase. Oh, okay. So when we go like this, it changes it to uppercase on change. So when we press enter, it'll do that. At the same time, we don't have the function saying, you know, click event enter or whatever. So what's up with that? I don't know. Anyway, so that's basically it. That's basically what happens. It seems like it changes the input text to uppercase. Okay. So there we go. So we already did it and we're submitting it. That was just to clarify for ourselves. So now we're on to step 29. Since our update event is running as a change event listener, the event parameter will be a change event. Okay. The target property of the change event represents the element that changed. We're going to assign the target property to a new variable called element. The target property of the change event represents the element that changed. We're going to assign the target property to a new variable called element. Okay. So we'll say const target equals, how do we make new elements? I forgot already. Document.create element. Okay, cool. So document.create element. No. Assign the target property to a new variable. Okay, so const element. Element equals event.target. Event.target. I think that's what they're saying. It is what they're saying. Now, what is this? Target. Target property. Let's try to find it here. Target property. Target property. You got something for me? Anchor target, target attribute. No. Target event property. That must be it. So the target property returns the element where the event occurred. The target property is read only. The target property returns the element on which the event occurred, opposed to the current target property, which returns the element whose event listener triggered the event. Okay. Let's do the examples. Get the element where the event occurred. Try it ourselves. Okay. So it's just like the other one. So we've got body on click. We've got the HTML. We got body. We've got on click equals my function event. Style. We've got this style right here. We've got an H1 that says this, H2 this is this, and a P that says all this. Click on any elements in this document to find out which element triggered the on-click event. So we got a button. This is the button right here. And then this P is ID demo, which doesn't have anything in it for right now. So script, we've got function, my function event, and then let text equal event.target node name. Document.get element, and then we've got document.get element by ID demo dot inner text equals text. The text is this. Okay, so click on any elements in this document to find out which element triggered the on-click event. H1. Okay. H2. P. Button. Okay. So what's going on here? Document.get element by ID demo dot inner HTML equals text. So event.target.node name. So we're targeting the node names of these. Okay. Okay, I guess that's what it is. All right. So we did it and it looks good, and now submit it. All right. Now we're on to step 30. So because the change event is triggered on an input element, the element will have a value property that represents the current value of the input. We're going to assign the value property of element to a new variable called value and use the replace method to remove all the white space. Okay. So yes, because the change event is triggered on the input element, the element will have a value property that represents the current value of the input. What? Okay, because the change event is triggered on an input element, because this is triggered on an input element, the element will have a value property that represents the current value of the input. I don't know what that means. We're going to assign the value property of element. Hey, what's up? Back from the gym? All right. So we're going to assign the value property of element to a new variable called value and use replace to remove all white space. We're going to do that, but why? What are we doing? All right, so let's say const value equals, and we'll say element dot value dot replace, and then we'll replace what? All the white space. So we'll do a what is that called? A regex for all the white space. And then we'll do G for global. And then we will say with an empty string. Hopefully that does it. It does it. Okay, but what does it do? What are we doing? Pardon me. The element will have a value property that represents the current value of the input. Isn't that like bit crowded with a lot of good looking women in there? We'll have a value property. I mean, isn't it just saying it has a value property? Why? Anyway, I guess they always have value properties, but anyway, whatever. So that's how we do it. We're going to take away the white space with some regex and then a global search flag right there. And that's pretty much it. There we go. And so now we're on to step 31. So now we need to check if the value does not include the ID of the element. We're going to create an if condition to do so also. What? So now we need to check if the value does not include the ID of the element. We're going to create an if condition if to do so. Okay, so whatever. We'll say if value does not include the ID element. Dot includes and then not ID. Let's see. Let's take a guess. Couldn't be it. Element.id. Element.id. Okay, no. Haha, well, good. That's why you pay the gym. That's why I pay a gym membership. All right. Okay, okay. Now we need to check if the value does not include the ID of the element. Okay, how about this? Value dot includes element dot ID, and then we'll say not in front of it. Let me wrap this up in parentheses right here. Let me put a close parenthesis right here, and let's put this. There we go. Okay, okay, okay. There we go. Give me 1 second. I got to turn off this light. Okay, there we go. So now we need to check if the value does not include the, okay, we just did that. Boom. Step 32. Spreadsheet software typically uses equals at the beginning of a cell to indicate a calculation should be used. And spreadsheet functions should be evaluated. Okay. We're going to use the and operator to add a second condition to our if statement that also checks if the first character of value is equal sign. All right, so we'll do and value at 0 triple equals string equal sign. Looks good to me. All right, and submit it. We're going to have to go through that one though. Okay, so we're already at the next part. Let's go through that again because that was kind of dumb or whatever it was in my opinion. Dumb. All right. So that's the const update equals event. All right, we're right here. Okay, update equals event. So const element dot event, element equals event dot target. As we remember, the target is whatever, here's the target, is whatever's getting targeted. So like this is getting targeted, the H2, this is the P, this is the button, it's whatever's being targeted, okay? And then we've got const value equals element dot value, but we're going to replace all the white space with nothing, with empty strings, right? So if there's white space in the target, I think they're talking about like if there's white space here, it'll just eliminate the white space, I guess. And then if the value does not include the ID and the value starts with an equal sign, we're going to do something, but we haven't decided what to do yet. Hopefully that's what's going on. I don't know for sure though. So now we're on to step 33. So in order to run our spreadsheet functions, we need to be able to parse and evaluate the input string. So this is a great time to use another function. We're going to declare an eval formula arrow function, which takes the parameters x and cells. All right. So const eval formula equals x comma cells, and then we're going to have the arrow and the function, the function body, whatever it is. Check the code, looks good, and submit it. All right, now we're on to step 34. So in our eval formula, we're going to declare an ID to text arrow function, which takes an ID parameter, right? ID to text, inside of this, we're doing this. Okay, so our ID to text function should return the result of calling the find method on the cells array with a callback function that takes a cell parameter and returns cell.id triple equals ID. And both of our functions should use implicit returns. Okay. Let's look at the find method before we go deeper. Let's go to find method JavaScript. Boom. That's a new color. So the find method of array instances returns the first element in the provided array that satisfies the provided testing function. If no value satisfies the testing function, undefined is returned. If we need to find the index of the found array, okay, that's all kinds of edge cases, I guess, or something. Anyway, so let's do this. So in our eval formula, we'll declare text to ID. We'll say const ID to text. That's what I meant to say. Equals ID and then an arrow. All right. So we're going to return the result of calling the find method on cells array. So cells.find with the callback function that takes a cell parameter, so cell, and returns cell.id triple equals ID. All right. So we're going to find ID to text is going to find the cells, I guess this. And then the cell's ID has to equal the ID that we're passing into here. The ID that we're passing into here, which is probably going to be the X. No, it's not. Oh, yeah. We're going to have to call this. We're going to call this inside of this. So we're probably going to say ID to text X. ID cells, whatever. Okay. Hopefully that's what we do. If not, we'll learn something else, right? So let's check the code. Looks good. And submit it. All right. Now we're on to step 35. So our ID to text function currently returns an input element. I believe you. So we're going to update it to return the value of that input element. Dot value? Dot value. That's not it. How about let's dot value? How about that? So this ID dot value looks good and submit it. Okay, now we're on to step 36. So we need to be able to match cell ranges in a formula. Cell ranges can look like A colon B, or pardon me, A1 colon B2, B12, or A3 colon B20, pardon me, A25. Okay. We can use a regular expression to match these patterns. Okay. We're going to start by declaring a regex range variable and assign it a regular expression that matches A through J, the range of columns in our spreadsheet. Then we're going to use a capture group with a character class to achieve this. Now that's how we're going to do it. Okay, so let's say const range regex equals. And then we're going to have some regex, and we're going to do a capture group. All right, let's open up the regex thing. Regex. Boom. Regular expressions chapter. Good. All right. What did you want? Okay, we're going to use a capture group with a character class to do this. Okay, so capture groups are in the groups, and that just means that when we put the parentheses around something, and then the character class is this up here when we put like A through C here, but we're going to do capital A through capital J. So let's do the capture group like this. Boom. And then we're going to do these brackets, and then we're going to say A through J like that. And do we only want to match it once? Yes, we do. Let's cap that off with a semicolon and submit it. All right. So now we're on to step 37. So after matching a cell letter successfully, our range regex needs to match the cell number. So cell numbers in our sheet range from 1 through 99. So we're going to do the capture group with a range from 1 to what? Okay, we're going to add a capture group after our letter capture group. Our new capture group should match 1 or 2 digits. The first digit should be a 1 through 9, and the second digit should be a 0 through 9. Yes, makes sense. The second digit should be optional. Okay. Okay, so outside of this capture group, we're going to do another capture group. All right? Right? 1 or 2 digits. So the first digit is going to be a 1 through 9. So let's say 1 through 9 inside of this. 1 through 9. And then we're going to do an optional, the other one. So I don't remember what the optional one was. I think it's quantifiers. Maybe it's 0 or more with the star. Matches the preceding item X 0 or more times. Okay. So for example, we've got B-O star matches the boo in a ghost booed and B in a bird warbled, but nothing in a goat grunted because there's no B, right? So we'll go do this here, the first one, and then we'll do another capture group, no, another 9, well, another, okay, so we're going to do this first character class 1 through 9, mandatory, and then then an optional 0 through 9. And it's going to be optional because of this star after it. I think that's what they want. So let's check the code. No. Our second capture group should have a character class. Does it not? Oh, what? Does it not? Do we need 2 capture groups? Let me try it. Let's try this. Nah. Your second capture group should have 2 character classes, right? 0 through 9. Right? That's what we did, didn't it? Your second new character class should be optional. What? How's that not it? That's not optional. All right. Matches the previous season 0 or 1 times. Maybe let's put a question mark then. Okay, there we go. So they didn't want the star, which does it 0 or more times. They just wanted 0 or 1 times, which makes sense actually. So we're going to use the question mark on that. That's why, look guys, that's why it's important to know where these quantifier, where all this stuff is on this regex page, this regular expression, because this is where it all is. And I mean, what are you going to do? Memorize it? Why would you do that? Quantifiers. 0 or 1 times. Question mark. Boom. We got it. And then, I mean, if the more you do it, the more you'll memorize it, but still. So there it is. And submit it. So now we're on to step 38. So ranges are separated by a colon. After our 2 capture groups, our range regex should look for a colon. Should look for a colon. Okay, so let's put a colon in the middle. After our 2 capture groups should look for a colon. What do you mean after? Oh, yeah. Yeah. After. So right here, a colon. And then we're going to do, no. Oh, yeah. And then we're going to do it again on the other side of this colon. All right, there we go. And submit it. All right, now we're on to step 39. Give me a second. I got to take a sip of this coffee. So gross. All right, let's get back to it. So after our range regex finds the colon, it needs to look for the same letter and number pattern as it did before. So we're going to copy our 2 existing capture groups and paste them after the colon. All right. Let's get this. Copy. And then a paste. Not like that. And then a paste like this. Check it. Jalal, how you been? I mean, not how you been. I haven't seen you before. Well, thank you for being a fan, and I'm glad you're getting so much out of it. So there's that, and submit it. So here's step 40. So here we are. We're going to finally make our range regex global and case insensitive. Okay, so we'll do a G and an I after it. Boom. Check it. Looks good. And submit it. All right, now on to step 41. What do we got going on? So now we're going to declare a range from string arrow function that takes two parameters, num1 and num2. The function should implicitly return the result of calling range with num1 and num2 as arguments. So to be safe, we're going to parse num1 and num2 into integers as we pass them into range. Okie dokie. Okay. So let's say const range from string equals. We'll have a num1 and num2, num1, comma num2. All right. And then we're going to say here, the function should implicitly return the result of calling range with num1 and num2 as arguments. We'll do range. What? Calling range. Range. Okay, we got range right here. Discord server. Maybe. I have to learn how to use Discord. I'm not very that's an excuse, but still. Maybe. To be safe, we're gonna parse these two. Okay, so we'll do a parse int num1, comma, parse int num2. And that should be what they want. Let's check the code. Looks good. And submit it. All right, now we're on to step 42. So we're going to declare a function elim value, which takes a num parameter. The function should be empty. Okay, declare a function elim value. So const elim value equals num, and then this, and then it's going to be empty. A Discord server. I wouldn't even know how to begin with that. I'd have to look on ChatGPT to figure out what to do. Because I don't use Discord, you know what I'm saying? So in our elim value function, we're going to declare a function called inner, which takes a character parameter. Then we're going to return our inner function. In our elim value function, we're going to declare a function called inner, which takes a character parameter. Okay, so we'll say const inner equals character. And then we're going to return the inner function. What? What? That can't be right. Okay. And then we're going to return inner after this? Should explicitly return the inner function. Does that just mean leave it empty? No. What? Then return. Should I just say return? No. Like that? It should be empty. All right. In our elim function, we'll declare a function called inner, which takes a character parameter. Then we're going to return our inner function. We should explicitly return our inner function. Oh my God. What are you talking about? What does this mean? What does that mean? That's not right. Return inner? It can't be right. Okay, there it is, I guess. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What's going on? What's going on? All right, and submit it. All right, are we going to fill up the inner one now? Okay, so in our inner function, we're going to return the result of calling id to text with character plus num as the argument. All right, so we'll say return id to text with character plus num as the argument. What's the character though? I mean, it works, but what's the character? I mean, what are we passing in there? Inner equals character. And then we're going to... What? I guess we still have to... there's still more to do, I guess. All right, so let's check it. Looks good, and submit it. All right. So the concept of returning a function within a function is called currying. Yeah. Okay. That's something that I didn't really ever get my head wrapped around. And I'm pretty sure this is even more challenging to understand than even recursion. So let's keep going. So this approach allows us to create a variable that holds a function to be called later, but with a reference to the parameters of the outer function call. So for example, we've got const inner one equals element value 1. And then const final equals inner one at A. Hold on. So we've got const inner one equals element value with 1 as the argument. Did we declare this somewhere? Const final equals inner one with the argument A. So inner one would be our inner function with num set to 1. And final would have the value of the cell with the ID of A1. Oh my goodness. This is possible because functions have access to all variables declared at their creation. This is called closure. So this 1 would be added to the A afterwards. We'll get some more practice with this. We're going to declare a function called add characters, which takes a character 1 parameter. This is killing me right now. Just a random question. Are we working or as a student? I'm working. I'm an old man, bro. Yeah, I'm working. I don't get a lot of money though, that's for sure. What are we doing? So this is possible because functions have access to all variables declared at their creation. This is called closure. I don't get it. Do you understand what's going on here? So final is calling this, and because it has element value 1, is element value a thing? LM value. LM value. It's not a thing. All right. So we're going to declare a function called add characters, which takes a character one parameter. Okay. So we'll say const add characters equals character one. And then we got this and this. All right. So looks good and submit it. All right. Now we're on to step 46. In our lm value function, we explicitly declared a function called inner and returned it. Okay. So, however, because we are using arrow syntax, we can implicitly return a function. For example, const curry equals soup, veggies, and then const curry equals soup, and then we call veggies, and veggies does whatever's in here. So curry is a function which takes a soup parameter, okay, and returns a function which takes a veggie parameter, okay. And using this syntax, we'll update our add characters function to return an empty function which takes character 2 as a parameter. All right. So we'll get rid of this. We'll say character 2. Like that. And that should be what they want. Let's check the code. Looks good and submit it. I don't know what's going on though. Oh, I don't get it. I don't get the point or what's going on. So our inner function can also return a function. Using the same arrow syntax, we're going to update our add characters function to return a third function, which takes a num parameter. All right. So we'll do this. And we'll say num, pardon me, we'll do num and then this. What's the point? What's the point of all this? I don't get it. What's the point? And submit it. What's the point of all this? Let's ask the expert. Yeah, we're going to ask the expert on this one. What's the point of currying functions? Stop. One sentence, bro. One sentence. Currying transforms a function with multiple arguments into a sequence of functions, each with a single argument, enhancing code reusability, modularity, and enabling partial application and function composition. But why? But why? More flexible. Show me. All right. Here's an example in JavaScript to demonstrate currying and its benefits. Without currying, suppose we have a simple function that adds 3 numbers. Add x, y, and z. So return x plus y plus z. Of course. Output 6. Makes sense. I don't know why we wouldn't want to do that. So now let's transform this function into a curried version, right? Do the second example in arrow function. Do the second example in arrow syntax. All right, so there we go. So here's what it is. We've got x, y, and z like this. All right. So then we've got this add 1, const add 1 equals curried add 1. So partially apply with x equals 1. What? curry to add 1 and 2 equals all right. Curry to add is a curried function written using arrow syntax. This right here. Okay. Partially apply with x equals 1. Add 1 is a partially applied function where the first argument x is fixed to 1. So const add 1 and 2. Add 1 with the argument 2, partially apply with y equals 2. Okay. And then const result equals add 1 and 2. The function add 1 and 2, 3. So we just make up new function names. So we just make up new function names in these variables. No, we're not. Okay. Okay. Where are the functions declared? Okay, look. So curry to add. So this is the name of this function call. It's the name. This is the name of this function call. And because this is a function, it's the same as calling, it's the same as saying this right here. So this is the same as saying all of this. This add 1 equals this, and then with 1. 1 is going to be the x because it's the first thing. Okay, I guess that's what it is. And then so this add 1 and 2 is going to be this thing, which equals this, which actually equals this, with this as the first argument, and now this is going to be this argument, and then results is this, which equals this, this which equals this with this, and this is the third argument, which is the 3. And so we've got x, the y, and the z. So this is the first thing called. So it's the 1 goes here. The 2 goes here. And 3 goes here. When we do the result, it's going to give us 6. When we do console.log. Do you? Because I still don't. I mean, I get it, but I don't understand why. I don't understand what the point is. You know what I'm saying? But what's the point? But what's the point of all that rigmarole when we could have done it easy? While it may seem like extra complexity, always did the second method's multiple brackets. What are you talking about? Anyway, let's get back into this. While it may seem like extra complexity, currying offers several benefits in specific scenarios. Modularity and reusability. Currying allows us to create specialized versions of functions that can be reused in different contexts without duplicating code. For instance, if we often need to add 1 to numbers, we can create a specialized function and reuse it whenever needed. Okay. Function composition. Currying makes it easier to compose functions in a functional programming style. This can lead to more readable and maintainable code, especially in complex applications. That's if you can read currying functions, I would imagine. Partial application. By breaking down a function into smaller, more specific functions, we can fix some arguments and create, this is the second method, multiple brackets. Yeah. I get what you're saying. So partial application, by breaking down a function into smaller, more specific functions, we can fix some arguments and create new functions with fewer parameters. And this can simplify code and make it more intuitive, if you say so. Immutability and side effects. Currying helps in creating pure functions that are easier to test and reason about, as they avoid side effects and work with immutable data. So here are practical examples where currying is useful. Here's a practical example. Imagine we have a logging function that prefixes logs with a specific context. So we got function, we got log level, contents, and context message as the parameters. And then we want to console.log the level, the context. This is inside of a template literal. We want to have the level inside of an array with the context colon message. I don't get it. I'm already confused. Log info my app. This is an info message. What? So error my app. Error my app. This is an error message. I don't get it. Okay. Oh, I kind of get it. Okay. Anyway, so console.log. Oh, pardon me. So we've got curried. All right. Let me back up. So using currying, we can create more specific logging functions. Here's the curried logging function using arrow syntax. We've got const log equals level, which is the parameter for this context, which is the parameter for message. Console.log, same thing from up here. Does the same thing. So we can create specialized loggers. So we have a const info log equals log info, right? So we can call this function and have it log info. Have it do the log info. And we can call the error log and do the error. It'll do the error. What? Error log. So these are both the first level of this log. So this one's going to be info, and then this one's going to be level error. So they're both this. All right. So we got const my app info log my app. All right. So this part is going to be info log my app. So it's going to be the context of it. All right. And then we say use specialized loggers. So we have my app info log. So this thing with this thing, and then it's going to do it again. I don't know, man. I don't get it. I don't get the point. Is it just so we can have it in 3 different places? Or have the enter the stuff, enter the information in 3 different places? I guess so. So in this example, log with info creates a function that logs messages with the info level. All right. And then info log with my app creates a function that logs info messages specifically for the my app context. Okay. And this results in more modular and reusable logging functions, reducing redundancy and improving code clarity. Currying is particularly useful in functional programming and when working with higher order functions where these benefits become more apparent. This didn't work. It didn't, maybe for you it did, but for me this didn't work. Okay. I still don't get it. We're just going to move on, and maybe we'll see this so much that just like when we were 2 years old and we learned to walk without thinking, maybe we'll start to use these without thinking. That's the game plan right now for me. Maybe you got it. I certainly do not. So what are we doing? So now we're going to update our innermost function in the add characters chain to implicitly return the result of calling char range with character 1 and character 2 as the argument. All right. So we'll say char range. What? Update the innermost function in the add characters to implicitly return. Wait, it wants us to implicitly. That means get rid of the curly braces. So we're just going to say char range character 1, comma, character 2. I think that's what it wants. All right, so there's that. So I guess somewhere we're going to call character 1, and then somewhere else we're going to call character 2. Or assign character 1 or character 2. I don't know. I don't get it. Let's submit it. All right, so now we're on to step 49. So we're going to use the same syntax as our add characters function to update our lm value function. lm value? Dude, where's that? lm value function. Where's that at? Oh, this. Okay. It should no longer declare inner, but should return the function implicitly. What? Use the same syntax as our add characters function to update our lm value function. So, so we want to do inner like this. Character, or do we just want to do character? Hold on, maybe we just want to do character. Character ID to text character plus num. Is that what you want? Nope. Oh, we got to get rid of this one. Okay, back up. Okay, back up. Okay, so instead of declaring so this is what the querying is doing, it seems. So instead of having to declare this inner character function, this inner function inside of here, we can just get rid of this. We can just get rid of all this stuff. All of this. Even this. And it's the same thing. Whoa. Okay, well, anyway, it's the same thing. So back up. Let's take 27 and copy it and go back to 26. 49. You know what I'm saying. So this, let's do this. Let's comment this out. And this. Okay, so this is the same as this. These two things. Hold on. Bring this one up. Bring this one down. Drop this here. Whoa. Copy this. No, we can't copy it. God. Okay. I'm going to copy this. Toss it over here. All right. We got that there. We're going to go forward. We're going to take this. Copy that. Come back here. Well, I don't have to do that. We'll drop this here. Bring this up. And then come back here. Take this. No. All right. We're not doing that either. We're going to comment this out. So this. Hold on. Let's check it. So this and this are the exact same thing. All right. That's what's going on here. So this right here and this is the same thing. And this is currying. So instead of having to declare, let me bring this down one and this down. So instead of having to declare this inner inside of here, we can just skip that and just have character like this return this thing right here. And we don't have to say return int or anything like that. It's just a shorter way to do this thing. That we also just learned how to do. So, I mean, I guess we're just gonna have to get used to it after a while. But this and this are the same thing. I don't know what I'm looking at, honestly, but it is the same thing. Okay, whatever. Submit it. All right, so now we're on to step 50. So our add characters function ultimately returns a range of characters. Add characters, this thing. We want it to return an array of cell IDs. We're going to chain the map method to our char range call, and we're not going to pass a callback function. What? Okay, so we're going to put a map on it. I know what they're saying, but why? Dot map, and then we're going to say chain them, and we're not going to pass a callback yet. Okay, whatever. So that's what they want, and submit it. But what did it say? Our add characters function ultimately returns a range of characters, and we want to return an array of cell IDs. Do we? Couldn't you just put an example of what it looks like that you want us to return? A1s and A2s? Is that what you think you're saying? I don't know. I don't know what they're talking about. I think what they want is an array of cell IDs. So like A1, comma, B1, comma, C1 kind of IDs like that. I guess. I don't know. So here we are at step 51. So we can pass a function reference as a callback parameter. A function reference is a function name without the parentheses. For example, we got const myfunc equals val, and then we've got the arrow. Val is the parameter, and then we got the arrow. We got some template. We got a template literal value colon, and then this right here. The val. Could it kill him to show us what the end result looks like instead of doing this? Would it kill them? Are they going to get cancer and die if they actually show us what the end result's going to look like instead of whatever this crap is? You know? So we've got const myfunc equals this thing, and then we got const myArray equals this. And we have const new array equals array.map myfunc. Okay. So we're doing this function on each one of these, which is going to say value. Would it, you know what I'm saying? Would it kill them to show us what's going on here? Is that what the problem is? So anyway, what this is going to look like, I'll be the one to do it. What this is going to ultimately look like is it's going to say, it's going to have an array, and it's going to be of a string that says value, and then it'll say 1. And then the next one will be a string that says value 2. And the next one's going to be a string value, string value 3. That's all they would have to do. So this thing, this array.map myfunc, is going to produce something that looks like this. That's all they had to say, which they, for some reason, can't say it. I don't know why they can't say it, but they can't. They've got something holding them up. So the map method here we'll call the myfunc. Oh, they did say it. Here it is right here. I must be stupid, or what's the word? Impatient. Anyway, so it's going to say this. So the map method here we'll call the myfunc function, and I'm not saying sorry. I don't care. I don't care. If it was clearer, I wouldn't be so pissed off right now. We'll call the myfunc function passing the same arguments as a map callback a map callback takes. The first argument is the value of the array at the current iteration. So new array would be this thing right here. Okay, just like that. We're going to pass a reference to our lm value function as a callback to our map method. All right. Pass a reference to our lm value function as a callback to our map method. Okay, so we'll say lm value, right? Okay, so basically it's saying that if you put a function in here, you don't need a callback because we already have, this is already a function. Okay, so that's basically what it's saying. Let's check the code, looks good, and submit it. All right, now on to step 52. So because lm value returns a function, our add characters function ultimately returns an array of function references. We want the map method to run the inner function of our lm value function, which means we need to call lm value instead of referencing it. So we're going to pass num as the argument to our lm value function. Because lm value returns a function. Yes, this returns this function. All right, we established that however many ago, in 48. We want our add characters function ultimately returns an array of function references. So this is going to ultimately return an array of function references. What? We want the map method to run the inner function of our lm value function, which means we need to call lm value instead of referencing it. Bro, I'm telling you, these guys, they just want to get your damn money off the first few of these, okay? They just want to get your money off of these ones. They want you to say, oh, this is great, I'm going to donate. And then by the time you get over here, they're like, well, we actually don't want you to join the coder community. So we're just going to make it so hard for you to understand so that you get the hell out of here. Because believe it or not, they don't want you actually succeeding. I'm almost convinced that's what's going on. Call me a conspiracy theorist, call me what you will. It's either that or they're stupid, all right? Or they're just absolutely inept at doing this. You know what I'm saying? That's got to be what it is. It's got to be one or the other. They have to be taking the money and then saying, get the hell out of here, or they're just really bad at their jobs. That's just what it is. All right. So we want the map method to run the inner function of our lm value function, which means we need to call lm value instead of referencing it. We're going to pass num as the argument to our lm value function. Like, this is easy. We can do this, but why? What is happening? Pass num as the argument to our lm value function. We've got this at num. Okay, now that we've done that, now what? All right, anyway, so that's the end of that for now. That's the end of this section. Yeah, become a supporter. Remove some distractions. If you're this far, go ahead and quit. We don't actually want you to be coders. We just wanted you to donate money to us and then fail. You know, or we don't know how to do our jobs. It's one or the other. It's one of the two things. There's one of two reasons why I personally right now am frustrated. It's either they suck at their jobs or they're doing this on purpose. Okay? Who knows? One of the two. Anyway, so that's the end of that for right now. It's 12:14 p.m. Central American time. I'm going to come back at it about 2 o'clock and we'll do the next section, 53 through whatever, 26 more. All right. So hopefully you got something out of this. I know I didn't, but maybe we'll go through this. Maybe we'll understand it in the next few steps, and then we can go back and see what's going on. Who knows? But anyway, I'll be back in like an hour and 45 minutes. And you guys enjoy the rest of your little break.